On a sunny day, you might decide to go for a run outside. You fuel up for your run by eating a healthy breakfast, maybe a piece of fruit. But how does your body take this fruit and turn it into energy? Today, we will learn about two processes that the cells in your body use to make energy. The first is cellular respiration, and the second is fermentation. By the end of this video, you will be able to tell these processes apart, and even predict which processes occur based on a given organism's environment. Let's talk about the different kinds of cellular respiration. There are two types: aerobic respiration and anaerobic respiration. Aerobic means that oxygen is involved in the process in some way. Anaerobic means just the opposite. Oxygen is absent from the process. The two processes are very similar. They only differ in the final step of respiration, the electron transport chain. One question we have not answered is this: where do the electrons go after they are passed along the membrane? These electrons bind to a final electron acceptor at the end of the electron transport chain. In aerobic respiration, this final electron acceptor is oxygen. Most plants and animals, including humans, do aerobic respiration. In anaerobic respiration, the final electron acceptor is a molecule other than oxygen, which differs depending on the organism. For example, some bacteria that live on the bottom of the ocean might use the sulfur from vents on the ocean floor as the final electron acceptor. Some organisms can do both types of respiration. Others, like humans, can only do aerobic respiration. Still others can only do anaerobic respiration and die in the presence of oxygen. Remember that run you were going on at the beginning of the video? Well, after running for a long time, you begin to get tired, and you're having a hard time breathing. You're not getting enough oxygen. So what does your body do? It cannot do cellular respiration without enough oxygen to serve as the final electron acceptor. Your body resorts to a process called fermentation. Fermentation is an anaerobic process because oxygen is not required for it to occur. But fermentation is not the same as anaerobic respiration. The first step in fermentation is glycolysis. Just like in cellular respiration, the cell breaks down a molecule of glucose to form 2 ATP and 2 pyruvates. What happens next is where fermentation and respiration differ. Instead of using the pyruvates to form more ATP or electron-carrying molecules as the cell does during respiration, the pyruvates stay in the cytoplasm and are used to produce either lactic acid or ethanol. As a result of fermentation, you have used a whole molecule of glucose and produced only 2 ATP. This is significantly less efficient compared to cellular respiration, which can produce up to 38 ATP per glucose molecule. Fermentation can result in a production of either lactic acid or ethanol, a type of alcohol. Whether an organism carries out lactic acid fermentation or alcoholic fermentation depends on the organism. Humans can only perform lactic acid fermentation. When you have been running for a long time and your body is not getting enough oxygen, your cells must resort to using lactic acid fermentation instead of aerobic respiration to give you energy. Yeast cells, on the other hand, do alcoholic fermentation. This is why yeast can be used to make alcoholic beverages, such as beer.